Okay, welcome to the Math Blog and weekly review sheet number 14. I'm going to be doing at least one from each section as an example. You're more than welcome to do it along with me or on your own at your leisure, whatever you choose. Starting with the first one, we have to identify the location being pointed out on the number line by the arrow, which is right here. And I guess the best way to approach this is to kind of realize that we're looking at a fraction between, or a mixed number in between 1 and 2. So the way we do this is we start at 1 and we can do leap counting. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to keep that in mind. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a total of 12 divisions in between 1 and 2. So now I automatically know that my denominator is going to be 12. And finally, this line here, as we were counting, that is the 7th line out of 12. So we have 7 twelfths. And since we're between 1 and 2, the answer is 1 and 7 twelfths. 1 and 7 twelfths. Just move this down so you can see it. And that's the answer for the first one. You're going to follow that same example for number 2. Looking at now a mixed number in between 2 and 3. I'm not actually going to do it right now, but follow that same idea. All right, reciprocal fractions. The simple answer is just turn the fraction upside down. So if we start with number 3, all you're going to do is change this to 4 over 1. And if you want, you can simplify it as 4, or you can leave it as 4 over 1. The other one that I do want to also do here is the mixed number. We're going to do number 7. With number 7, or any mixed number, you've got to change it to an improper fraction before you flip it. So following the guidelines for changing any mixed number into an improper fraction, we take the whole number times the denominator. 2 times 5 is 10. We add the numerator, which is a total of 13, over 5. However, that's not our answer. That just gets us started. We now have to flip it upside down to make it a reciprocal. And our answer is 5/13 for number 7. Going on to the second page. With 9 through 14, if it's already an improper fraction, we have to change it to a mixed number. And consequently, if it's a mixed number, we have to change it to an improper fraction. So based on what we see, I'm going to do 9, and I'm going to also do number 10. Number 9 is an improper fraction. So we have to change it into a mixed number. And the way we do that is 6 goes into 19 at least 3 times. So we now know it's 3 and something sixths. And when you do 6 times 3, you get 18. And 18 is 1 away from 19. So our answer is 3 and 1/6. Now with number 10, it's already being put up as a mixed number, so we have to change it from mixed number to improper fraction, and we work in reverse. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 1 is 57, and you get 57 sevenths. Takes us to our next section, which is simplifying or reducing fractions to lowest terms. Find a number that goes into both 6 and 8. This is why we do those divisibility rules. And right away, you can see that number, the digit 2 goes into both. I'll show you work this way, 2 over 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. And that gets simplified as 3/4. And I'm going to circle it. Just keep in mind, all of these from 16 through 20, there's going to be at least one digit that goes into every single one. So nothing is simplified here. You're going to have to reduce it at some point. Takes us to our division on page 2. I find that students have a difficult time remembering what to do with division since it's been a while since we've done it. It's back in Mod 2, early on in Mod 2. If you can remember, keep, change, flip was kind of our saying that we did with division after we did all our modeling. Before we do that, we have to change any mixed numbers into improper fractions. So I'm going to do that with 5 3/5. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 3 gets us 28/5. We're going to keep division as division right now. Don't change anything. Not yet. 6 times 10 is 60 plus our 7 is 67 over 10. But we're going to always do that first. Any mixed numbers, got to change into improper fractions first. Now we're going to do keep change flip. We keep the first fraction, 28/5. We change division to multiplication. And we are going to flip or turn 67/10 upside down so it's 10 over 67. Now here comes an important part, and it's called cross reducing or cross division. We look from corner to corner to see if there's a number that can go into both 5 and 10. In this case, 5 goes into both 5 and 10. So 5 goes into 5 once. I'm going to cross it out. I'm going to make it a 1. And that same 5 goes into 10 twice. I'm going to cross it out and make that a 2. Now I'm going to look at 28 and 67. And again, this is why divisibility rules is so important, because I'm trying to find a number, if it exists, if there is a number, that can go into 28 and 67. Well, 67 is a prime number. And unless 28 can go directly into 67, which it can't, there is nothing that will go into both 28 and 67. So we've got to leave that alone. There's nothing that we can do with it. Now we multiply across. 28 times our new 2 is 56. And 1 times 67 is 67. And in most cases, I won't say all, but in most cases, if you cross-reduce over here, you will not have to simplify the answer. It'll always, not always, but most of the time be in lowest terms. And our final answer is 56/67. Now, one of the ways you could also check and make sure that you've done this properly is if you look back at the original problem. You have 5 3/5 being divided by 6 7/10. Essentially, it's a smaller number being divided by a larger number. Therefore, your answer has to be a value less than 1. 56/67 is a value less than 1. Just a little checkpoint to make sure that you have done everything properly. Now, I'm not actually going to do number 22. Here's a scenario where you have a larger number, that 2 1/6, being divided by 1 4/9. You have a larger number being divided by a smaller number. So your answer should be a value greater than 1, which means that after you've cross-reduced and multiplied across, you're going to get an improper fraction. And you're going to need to change that improper fraction back into a mixed number. You're not going to have to do that with 21, but you will have to do it with 22, and I just want you to be aware of that. And our last page is pretty much still fresh in your brains, I would think. But remember, when you're adding or subtracting decimals, it is important to line up your decimals. Now, I'm not actually going to do it, but I'm going to line up the first 2 for you, just so you have a head start. This first one is subtraction, so order does matter. You'll have to put 101.28 on top and 44.195 on the bottom. And you're definitely going to need to add that annex 0 here, because you're going to need to borrow from that when you do subtraction. And on this one, again, I'm not going to actually do it, but I'm going to line it up for you. Here, it doesn't matter when you're adding what goes on top. I like to put the digit that has, or the number that has the most digits up on top. Just looks nicer, I think. It's easier to manage. Same thing, although not as important, add your annex zeros, and then add your 2 digits. So I hope this helps out. We do have extra help on Wednesday at lunch if you'd like to come. And again, Thursday morning if you still have some further questions. Otherwise, good luck. Have fun. Do the best job that you can. And this will be due on Friday. Thanks.